Wellness Show, episode number 410.
Welcome to the Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyhson Bannigan, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more. Welcome to the Wellness Show on Health, Wealth, and Enlightenment. And this is your host, Tyhson Bannigan. And we're here at the end of the week. It's been a busy week here on planet Earth. Lots showing up in my life, in your life, everybody's life. And to help us manage all that and understand what's in them, their stars and what's up on planet Earth is our one and only Carla, the beginning of the world famous coming yet to be seen Carla show. So Carla, welcome to the show. This is an opportunity to get an empath point of view on what's up on planet Earth. So then we're going to open up the lines. Lines are right above me. You can phone in toll free. We'll give you a reading or help you get out of your way, get back on track, take back your personal power, stand in your truth, and deliver your awesome gifts to the world. And so without further ado, welcome Laura, my co-host, and welcome Carla to the show. And what's up on planet Earth?
Yeah, thank you for having me again, Tyhson and Laura.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There's lots of things happening up in the stars. And it's not going to slow down. It's all through 2021. Just to start off, I'm just going to say, etch a sketch away your perception of what life used to be and what you think it should be, and just throw that out the window and think of this as your norm, because this is actually not crazy right now compared to what is going to be happening.
What?
I'll drink to that.
Yeah. I know. You chose to be alive at this time, so embrace it.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You chose a front row seat.
Yeah, exactly. Literally.
Okay, so tell us what's going on, Carla. Do I really need to pull my hair a little bit harder?
I mean, do you want to suffer? I mean, here's the thing, that this is, there's two things that I really wanted to talk about. One is discernment and one is choice.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
2020 in my eyes has been the year of discernment. And, why do I say that? I think discernment, we're forced to choose and have discernment when things are intense, right? When we're pushed against the wall, when we have a decision to make, if we're fighting with somebody or, disagreeing or something intense is happening, it really forces us to have discernment, not only on who do we want in our life, where do we want to be putting our energy, how do we want to feel? And then we're at choice.
And I was saying, who do we want to listen to? That's the big one for me. I mean, the information that's coming in, like conspiracy, non-conspiracy, all the stuff that's coming in, it's just like mind-boggling. And to try and figure out what's fake news, real news, no news, it's just almost virtually impossible. It's almost like I got to shut all the channels down, which is probably good, and rely on my guidance, because there's just too much. What if it
all was true?
I think it is all true if it's parallel timelines, absolutely, right?
Or just in this moment. So like this is sort of like my soapbox. Like, does it really matter what the lowercase truth is? What is your capital truth? What is your discernment? What do you want to do with this information? If it is a conspiracy theory or not? Like, who cares, honestly, of what? Because the situation is still here. It's like, if it's raining, who cares of how or why it's raining? It's raining. What do you want to do with that rain? Do you want to catch it and water your plants like what I did this week? Do you want to go play in the puddles, right? This is what we talked about. Like, sometimes the why doesn't matter. This is what's happening here. And what do you want to do to find that peace? Because I think the thing that, we keep coming back to is having that internal peace no matter what the weather is on the outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
And don't you think too that what's going on in your life and what your truth is in your own personal life, like my everyday life is peaceful and warm and loving, and It's nice. When I go out, like I went shopping yesterday. When I go out, I see and I feel the fear, but it's not in my home. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and as an empath, we're feeling all of that, right? You're feeling everybody at the grocery store. You're feeling the people who are driving wherever they're driving. You're feeling the vibration of Mother Earth and the cosmos. And things are going to continue to get intense with Mother Earth. Like Uranus is in Taurus, right? Uranus is the planet of destruction and chaos and change, and Taurus is Earth. And it's here for 8 years. And as other planets, conjoin or oppose it, then the intensity gets there. So, there are going to be more earthquakes. There are going to be more volcanoes going off. There are going to be tsunamis. Like, just know things are happening now. What can you do to prepare? Right? Like, this is the part where, sorry, Luna's being really active right now. um, what changes do you want to make right now to set you up for success?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let's talk about that.
Yes. So I'm just looking over my notes right now. So, couple of things I want to talk about. One, purification, portals, changes, discernment. Um, the next 5 months. Okay. Yes, Tyson.
Oh, I was just going to say, I have to bring in our biased weather report, or if you want to change your own weather report, the deep clearing protocol is a great way to start.
Yes.
If you're overwhelmed with what's happening, there's just too much information. What's false news, good news, bad news, horrible news, or good news, whatever. If you start to do the deep clearing protocol, you can discover that there's or you can strengthen the boundaries of who you be, what is important for you and what is not important for you, and that your own sovereignty will come through that, which then allows you to have the clarity of being able to be okay with inside of yourself. Like Laura says, when I'm at home, I'm okay. So wouldn't it be great to be okay in your body wherever you go into this crazy world of all these confusing energies? So just to remind people that the deep clearing protocol are steps towards taking back that sovereignty to be able to be crystal clear about what's yours and what isn't yours. So anyway, back to you, Carla, because these are the steps from an empath's point of view that are so important. When we look outside of ourselves, oh my God, it's going to get overwhelming.
Oh, it's
Right. Release. Release.
What's this
So,
purification about? Purification.
yep, I was just getting there. So we just had 3 eclipses, right?
Okay.
And remember, when we have an eclipse, think of it as it like being 6 to 10 times the normal energy. Like, so the normal energy of the full moon or the normal energy of a new moon, it's intensified. Okay. So, and eclipses, you'll feel the energy for like the next 6 months. Okay. So a lot of times with astrology, people think like this happened and now it's done, and it's the opposite. Well, not always, but think of it as like it puts something in motion. Like the eclipse is like we're taking things away so new things could grow, and so that energy of releasing and rebirthing is what is happening now. Like, what did you put in motion for this time? Okay, does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
Okay.
so there's
No,
there's another thing.
let me just, Laura's saying, well, think of 2012. Like people say, oh, but 2012 didn't happen. It wasn't the Mayan end of the Mayan calendar. It wasn't something catastrophic that happened. And so if it was, I missed it. But if you look at what the Mayan calendar was saying, that at this time the truth would be revealed, right? That there'd be nothing hidden. We're right on track. The Mayan calendar opened a door, a cosmological door. It was a rival point that still continues on from 2012. So I think that's what Carla's saying. It's that these events are the beginning of something that just doesn't end in that 2012. It continues on with this door open to a new way of seeing the world.
Right. So like let's bring it to like a personal life, right? So during the eclipse, discernment happens, right? Like, because it's an intense time. So, and again, depending on where this is in your personal chart, could really help you understand a little bit more. So I'm just going to use an example. Like, if work is really being affected by you right now, and you made a decision, like you're going to go all in your business, like you got super clear, you're not going to work for somebody else, you're not going to do like, so now, like, you had that discernment, you have that idea, but it doesn't mean like poof, your business is going to grow. Now you put in the work, you put it into motion, that all of your energy is going to be focused on you and your business versus somebody else's. Or in a relationship, like this partner isn't really like, we're not on the same track anymore. I think we're just forcing this because we made a commitment. What is our truth now, and what is the truth of the relationship? So then you start the conversation and you realize it doesn't do anybody, like, you're not serving staying together. So then you put in the motion of separating. Is that so? So it's like things that came up during this time are now in the motion of playing out.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's what I mean on a personal level.
I gotcha.
Okay. So it's interesting you brought up the Mayan calendar, because there's some people who believe, like, now, like the 13 moon Mayan calendar, like right now this week we're finishing the white wizard time, and we're going into the blue storm year. So in the Mayan calendar, like, we're ending a year right now. And so this is like 1 year's ending, 1 year's beginning, and the beginning year is purification. So when you think, so this was actually a question I wanted to ask each of you. So Laura, when you hear the word purification, what comes to mind? Just first thing, image or thoughts or
Like,
feelings?
detoxing the body, almost like purification. That's what I thought you meant. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
that on an individual basis of let's get our home, and because I've been like purging my home like
Yes.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting ready for
perfect.
something.
You are. That's exactly right. And with the sun and the moon right now, in Cancer, like Cancer's home, right? Like, that's exactly what you should be doing this last month. So Tyson, for you, what does purification mean, or what comes up for you just in this moment?
Well, and we're having rain here. It's
Mm.
like it's the memo. Like, I didn't know that I was supposed to be building an ark, but I mean, it just keeps raining. But rain for me is purification. It's like a cleansing, like planetary wide. Well, at least in my garden, Eden, it's raining and it's purifying.
Yeah.
And but then the garden's still growing even when there's sunlight. It's like it's a miracle. I know when the sun does come up, the garden's going to go, "Ooh, yeah," like that. So it's
Yes.
sort of like we're in a bit of a holding pattern. It's sort of like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? We're still in the purification. It's not over. Like,
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because big things are coming, and how that's going to manifest in each of our lives, like it's unknown. I mean, we could, again,
yeah.
go to an astrologer and look at your chart and really see that for you. But right, that holding pattern, and there's also portals that are open right now. And so for me, actually, when I think of purification, I think of fire. I think of burning down. I think of just everything. It's like when we have fires, right? Like natural fires or even forest fires to clear, new life then starts to form, right? So right now it's like, even like the eclipse season is over, but what choices do you want to make right now to go forward? What is it that you declared that you didn't want to do anymore? And it could be health wise, it could be thoughts, it could be behaviors. One of the things that Tyson, you said a little bit ago, and I can't remember exactly what you said, but or Laura, actually, when you're talking about you're out in the world. So if we think of just different layers of consciousness, right? And no right or wrong, but just like you might perceive, truth to be here, or truth to be here, or truth to be here, depending on where you are in this state. Are you listening to your higher self and your guides and your heart? Are you listening to your head and all, like Tyson, you were saying, like you're just getting bogged down, all these like truths are coming in. So where are you putting your energy? Where are you getting your capital T truth from? Discernment, right? So in terms of purification, it's like, what are you ready to literally burn away, wash away, cleanse away? That's what's happening right now. And Laura, what you're doing in your house is perfect.
Mhm.
Same. My mom is getting ready to move, and like going, like we've been here like almost 25 years. So things that have been in the attic, or boxes that haven't seen the light of day, like this is the time. Like it's so divine of how that happens. Now,
Okay.
some people might not do that in their home. They might be going in their thoughts and their beliefs. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because not everybody is like us. Not everybody is, and even us, we get in our roots patterns, and we can't even see what we're doing.
Mhm.
Like we might speak a certain way, and we don't realize, like if I say that, that lands that way on somebody else. Like I don't even see that, because it's just who we are. So like even for us, it's a time of slowing down, going in and picking apart all these aspects about us, and what do we want to keep and what do we don't want to keep. Okay. And what we put in motion now is really what's going to be coming forth, right? I mean, that's almost with anything, right? What you focus on. Now, this is the part where it gets a little bit tricky, because some people are saying, so typically new moons, right? Plant seeds to grow. Some people are saying this might not be the best time necessarily to plant the seeds, because there's still so much unknown. It's still a time of purification. It's still, because there's still lots of shadows in the astrology. There's still, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto are still retrograde. They're still going inward. There's still shadows. And Jupiter is huge, right? Jupiter magnifies. Jupiter is the planet of luck and also culture. Okay. So we might not have answers yet. So for me, what I feel that is congruent to this energy is, even if we don't know what specifically we want, how do we want to feel?
Right. I
Mhm.
like that. This is not necessarily doing in planting the seed, is how you want to feel. I love that. That's makes a lot of sense.
And then we could allow the energy to take away anything that's preventing that from happening.
So a
Yeah.
long time ago, I was told that we are at some point in time going to create moment by moment our future, right? Not long time, because right now I feel like we say something and our manifestation takes a while, right? But
Yep.
at some point it's just going to start doing this. So when you're talking, that's what I'm getting back here, is that God is like, okay, here we go. Now you all start manifesting and creating what it is that you want in your life, and be aware and open up and start to think about this, because this is going to start going faster and faster and faster, right?
Totally. and
Okay.
and there are portals that are open right now. So in terms of instant manifestation, that definitely can happen in certain areas in your life. And this is where you know my hmm, everything that I do when I'm working with clients or friends in my life, or whatever, is to empower people. Like even as a healer, like I never go in wanting to heal somebody. It's a co-creation.
Mhm.
It's like I could go in there and take this energy away or remove that spirit, but if you don't know how to do it yourself, you're going to go back. It's a rubber band, and you're going to snap back there. So even with astrology, even though we could read the energy, I don't want to sit here and tell you how it's going to affect your life. I want you to slow down and notice every area of your life. Notice the 12 areas. If you get out you could Google like what the 12 houses are, right, in astrology, and
Mhm.
just go through them and just see like which part really jumps out to you. That's probably the part for you in your soul lesson right now. And that's the other thing. Like this is a karmic time. Like, so the nodes of the moon, you have your south node and the north node, right? And in your individual chart, your north node is what your soul is here to do. It's like these are the lessons it's meant to learn. The south node is what you've done in your past and that you're really good at. The problem is if we live in our south node, then we're not doing our soul's growth. We're copying out. We're doing what's easy. Usually the north node, it's like, if you're right-handed, it's like you're writing with your left hand because it's a little bit awkward, but that's what you're here to do. So nodes are, a huge aspect to our lives. And right now, the eclipse is like square. They're doing, I think, I don't know if they're squaring or conjoining the nodes. I can't remember what it was, but I remember it being like, it's such a karmic time right now. It's
Right.
like you might be meeting people. I wouldn't necessarily say that's going to be the person that you're going to marry. Maybe, often karmic relations come in with a boom and they go out with a boom, but they come in to wake you up, right? Same
Right.
with health stuff. So again, depending on how this is, happening in your life, where's the intensity right now? And then what can you do to really see the lesson in the intensity?
So I have a question for you. I don't know whether it's answerable or not, but you got me
Sure.
interested about the idea of portals, and I and I was thinking, well, was there a portal? Can I understand the concept of portal maybe in the way in which something that could be quite challenging and time consuming if I got in my limited human mind consciousness, but if I actually got into a portal, whatever a portal is, and maybe time, space, energetic in my heart, right? That there then there's some then there, magic could happen. Then all of a sudden, what was a struggle is no longer a struggle. What would seem like take infinite amount of time to get done and overwhelming, this falls into place. So
Yes.
you got me excited about, oh God, maybe I need a portal. Can I go shopping for a portal somewhere? Where do I buy a portal?
Yeah, you just go right in here, right? You go right, tap into the energy, which you do always anyway. I mean, that's who you are. That's who you be when
Uh,
you're out of the
yeah,
the ego mind, we'll say.
yeah. I got to
Yeah,
figure
so
this out. Yeah.
totally. And there's nothing, and you and I are very similar where we have a logical side to us, and then we have a super spiritual let it be side where there's nothing to figure out and there's everything to figure out. And I know, like, for me it's balancing those two, because both are super important. There are certain things through the logical mind, especially running a business, we can allow just things to come, and we can allow just divinity to guide us. But if we don't have some sort of consistency or some sort of path, then it's like it could just be wobbly and we could get lost, and it doesn't grow, and we actually don't help people,
Right.
right? So it's learning how to balance the higher mind and guidance into a strategy that actually could support you and your health and your business and your life.
Yeah, it sounds like structure to me, and but a living structure. You know, it's sort of like the skeleton. If there's not a skeleton, how does the flesh all, attach itself to manifest into reality? So, yeah, where's
And
it? Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
and one of the things, like, with structure, like, structure used to give me the heebie jeebies, and like, don't tell me what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I actually remember you, Tyson, saying one time in our mastermind was, Carla, what if you did like a 4 hour chunk of time for something? And my life, like, literally changed. It was like, oh, my structure doesn't have to be that 30 minutes or an hour to get something done. I could give myself spaciousness and allow me to work in the circles and go up to the cosmos and channel and then put it in. And that has helped me, I don't want to say more than anything, but it definitely reframed my definition experience of structure.
well, thank you for reminding me because I'm going to do that again in my own life. So that's Walter Russell. He was, a wizard in what he did. He was a sculptor over here and a painter over here, and he had four different studios for the four things, and he would spend 4 hours a day in each one of his four separate studios because he's like Michelangelo. He couldn't drop one in favor of the others. So he did all four.
Yeah, I love that. I still am not quite that structured though in my mind. Like, when I'm visualizing my next place where I live, I actually do. It's funny you say that, because I have seen multiple different studios on the land that I do for the different arts and healing and things. So that's interesting that you said that. I'll take that as a confirmation for me. Okay. The other thing that came up in my meditation, to talk about. So when the energies get intense, and sometimes, and this has come up in a couple of my client calls, which is why I think it's coming through, is sometimes people's natural response is to be defensive and to prove and to protect, right? Like we really get, like, if somebody questions our morality, or they do something and it's like way out of integrity to us, or if someone just ate like your last strawberry and you really wanted it, right? It's never about the strawberry, but it could really piss you off, right? So when these energies come up, there's two images that came through. One is, and the predominant one is martial arts. And the thing that I love about martial arts is you're not trained to actually hurt anybody. Like you're training all the time to keep your reflexes going, which is your mind, body, spirit as one, and you're centered. And as things come to you, you use that energy to push them away. You use their energy to do whatever it is to protect or to win or to get a score, depending on which martial arts you're doing. So where in your life right now can you use that concept?
Mm.
How can you use that energy? How can you take that and again being the alchemist?
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And also the Buddha, right? Or the Dalai Lama, where like people will yell or spit in their face and they're just like, okay, just like not taking it personally, right? So I think those two fundamental ways of being, if we can really, I'm going to say master those, even though that's being grandiose, but if we could at least start to practice those in our everyday waking life, no matter what happens in the stars, we're able to dance with it and use it to our advantage because we won't feel attacked. We won't feel a victim of. Even being empathic, we're feeling all of this energy. How can then we could transmute that into love and light, or just push it away, or go do sculpture, whatever it is, like how can we use that
Right.
to our advantage? So I think it's similar, like my message is similar than what it was last week, but it's preparing us for what's coming.
I love that. I love that. I mean, as empaths, we're going to feel it all. It's going to come at us. We can't stop it. It's not healthy to try and stop it, but that whole flow, whether it's Tai Chi or whatever it is, to play with that energy, take what you want and let the rest go. I love that. We're not trying to block anything, fix anything, understand anything. It's just pure energy and we get to play with it. We get to be wizards, like you say,
Mhm,
Right.
play with energy.
mhm.
And
What I like what you say is that what is coming, we need to prepare for what is coming. I don't
yep,
know what's coming. It's kind of intense when you say it though. So what do you feel is coming up? We have to erase the board
yep.
completely, right? Of what is, and that this is the new normal.
What is and what your expectation e- and your expectation. So even by me saying intensity is coming, whatever comes in your mind, throw it away. Like literally, again, this kind of goes to the martial arts. Like when you're doing martial arts, you can't think.
Yeah.
You just are, and you're one with the energy that's coming. You're just so present to each moment of what is here.
I gotcha. I
Yeah.
see what you're saying
And
completely.
so it's like, what can you do to set yourself up for success? Is it
I got
getting out of a healthy relationship? Is it getting your house? Is it saving money? Is it, but not in fear? Like we don't want to be in fear, but what can you do that's fun, that really feels like security to you? What are your values? Go all in on your values that bring security to you and happiness to you. So when things start to get intense, you have
Mhm.
what you feel is, your homestead, your touch
So
point, your paradise.
So
Yeah.
when the woman was coming up to me on the Beltline yesterday, and she was like,
What's a belt line?
you can feel her, right? Like right behind you.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, oh! I got, you're
Freeway.
meaning you're in a grocery store and she's behind you.
I'm on the Beltline. I'm on the
What is
road.
that? Oh,
Sorry,
oh, the road. Okay,
Well,
freeway.
freeway,
okay,
there we go.
okay, okay.
She comes up behind me, and I could feel her, and it was like, whoa, right? Then
Yep.
she passes me, and I just start laughing because I'm like, you're so angry. She's looking at me like, you're too slow. Blah. And I was like,
Right.
all right. Then she
Yep.
goes behind you, and she's just on you and on all these people, and you could feel everyone. The guy she was behind, that she was really pushing towards, he was like completely clueless. He had no clue she was even there, right?
Right.
And that's what, when you're talking, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I just laughed at her anger and her like need to go. And just this like, I can even feel it now, the intensity of her intensity. And all you can do is laugh when it gets that intense. So how we react to the people around us, right?
Choice.
Choices.
Although so something interesting that actually came up yesterday. Yes, like all you can do is laugh, but everybody else could have their different thing. I don't. So I am totally anti spiritual bypassing. Right. So spiritual bypassing is when you're avoiding intense feelings and you just go to the light and you just go to love and light, or you just go to happiness and you're avoiding what is actually truth for you. So if somebody was, if I'm driving and someone's right behind me and I feel their intensity, I might just like let them go by or whatever. But if I'm angry, I'm going to allow myself to feel that anger to come through me. So then I could experience other things. I'm not going to just, make myself feel something because of the situation. This
Wow.
is a time, if you're sad, cry it out, shatter fucking glasses against the wall, get it out,
Mm-hmm.
and then what's next?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I
How
agree
much,
100%.
how much of our lives are we pushing the envelope, so to speak? For me, like going to the gym 3 times a week, being very structured. And I loved it, by the way. It felt good, but I was pushing. And now when I have a home gym and I can't go to the gym, it's really hard for me to get back in the group. But when I do it, I'm loving doing it. And my body feels just so relaxed and so comfortable. I have flexibility like I've never had before. It's like letting go to accomplish the same goal as it was when I was pushing. And if I compare the two, I'd rather be in this latter stage of just loving my body the way that it is. So my body can do all the adjusting, not me putting it into another regime. So this
So
is
when,
what I'm learning.
when you say that, I get this back here, which I always say is like, I'm getting messages to bring that into the rest of your life.
Absolutely. As an addicted person who has to, I'm the doer addicted person, to bring it into the rest of my life. I should be probably doing art like Carla, because I can't do art unless I'm in my true nature. I have to have time to let the flow happen, and then it becomes timeless. So what other things can I do where time ceases to be relevant other than it folds into sacred time? So yeah, so we got a few comments coming from Michael, and so why don't we take a look at that, because probably time to open it up. We're past half an hour. It says, somebody said, time to change the words new normal to new better, as to how does it get better than this?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was Michael himself. So, and he was saying, call in for a reading, question mark. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Why don't you join the discussion? The lines are now open. It's toll-free North America, 1-866-369-7464. Don't phone in. We're going to keep talking because we're having a lot of fun here. But if you want to join us and ask us questions, help us get you out of your own way, or maybe do a mini reading or clearing, then feel free to phone in. We're not going to answer your questions necessarily by you typing them in, because we have to go find you, or Michael has to find you. Always better to phone in toll-free North America. If you're phoning in internationally, you can use my cell phone. It's 1-250-803-2480, and that is one for Canada, and then it comes in through the WhatsApp, so you don't have to pay for it. And I guess you could use FaceTime too. We would get it that way as well. So whatever way you want to call in, please do. So Carla, really fascinating what you're saying, and what you're saying too, Laura, is just, for me, is just relax, baby. Get back on the flow. Stop
And
putting that Taurus head down and just button up against the wall.
which is real. So this is actually brilliant, because for me, I am supposed to put my head down and start going forward and not worry about everything else around me and bring my energy back to here, which you are bringing your energy back to here, but doing it in a more relaxed sort of way, right? So this is where each person is on it, like their soul is is here to do different things at different times,
Right.
right? So the one other thing that I wrote down that I just wanted to bring up is as a representative of other empaths out there in the world, I remember last night I was laying in bed and I was just had tears of gratitude for everything in my life, like for us to be alive. Like, remember, there, Pluto is the planet of death. So there are lots of death. We had a family member die this week. And there's a lot of people that I've been hearing that their souls, are visit portals are open, right? Pluto is involved. There's a lot of checking out. So death could happen in the physical form. And we never do really, we don't know when our last breath is going to be. And I was just feeling so much gratitude for my mom and Luna and all of you, and just everything in my life. And so notice when you do allow yourself just to rest and relax, what are those emotions that come up? Are you feeling fear? Are you feeling sadness? Are you feeling gratitude? Because it's in those quiet moments that your messages come through. So just wanted to share that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And so many people are checking out. And the Oneness Network of Light, we meet once a week and dealing with traumatic experiences of people and land and people living on land and clearing a lot of death, a lot of trauma. Not only being released in this time, but it's actually connected energetically through the ley lines to history and lineages. And oh my God, it's like just working on one place on the planet has this neural network on the planet that goes everywhere. So when you clear that nexus, it's like clearing a knot in the human body. When you clear it, it just goes exploding energy everywhere as it releases. Amazing experiences of learning that Mother Earth, the body of Mother Earth is like our own human body. And when we treat her that way, we can really unblock a lot of energy.
Yeah. I saw that this morning when I was meditating. God brought in, I don't even know how many thousands and thousands of souls, and he asked me if I could cross them over. And I said yes. And then I went back. I got a text from one of my clients, and I came back, and it was like they were gone. And I said, did we do it all? And he said, for today, yes, thank you. And that was it. Like just being present in the moment for what it is that's needed in the moment. I saw the light come in. I'm seeing people crossing over. Look at the land work that we did on last Friday, Tyhson. I mean, amazing, amazing. And now Carla coming in and kind of like making it all understood for me now, like an understanding of that how we choose to be in the moment. Like the other day I was playing with my dog and he was super intense and like all this energy was coming out and I was like "Arr." But I had just gotten off the phone with a client that was super intense, that has a lot of pent up energy. And I think that when you were saying that before, I was like, all that all cleared out with Spirit and I. We were just pulling on that toy and I was like, kill it, and we were having so much fun and he was shaking it and the intensity of the room. And then all of a sudden it was gone. And I was like, okay, now what? Just like what you said. Okay, now what? What next, God? What else do we need to do? And being in that moment of knowing or of asking, and then having those moments of quiet where the love can come out or the creativity can come out or the need to exercise or take a nap, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And whatever it is the key here, because there's so much inner judgment of shoulds,
Yes.
and Tyhson knows this. Like I've been on a health journey actually since 2006, of health going up and down, but really this last year has really knocked me out in a different way than before, because before there's a lot of migraines and other spirits and entities, and Tyhson helped me with clearing all of that. And this has been something completely else, I think more environmental than anything, but it's altering my physiology, the nerves, and so much judgment, right? I'm a healer, like I'm a coach, and there's days that I couldn't get out of bed. And it really forced me just to surrender. And so I would do my coaching calls or meetings, our mastermind, like in bed. And it was like, this is me today, and not putting on a front. And growing up as a chameleon, like not putting up a front was like me walking into the lion's den. It was like, are people going to like me? Or are they going to do that? Again, this year, huh?
I said like naked with meat all over you.
Totally.
Wrapped it.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, terrified, right? Of like the perception of my projected perception of how people think I should be or whatever, and just what, you know, allowing myself to be. And I think we each do that at times in our lives, but to do that on a consistent level, I think is challenging for all of us. Like, we're humans and we have ideas and perceptions and shoulds and desires and goals.
Mhm.
Right.
And that's the thing with goals. It's like, it's great to have goals, but we also have to let go of what actually will come forth, because those goals, in my opinion, is like spirit putting us on the road to something, but we actually don't know what that something is.
Right. Yeah.
Or how it's going to come about. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
I always use the analogy of ordering pizza. We have to put the order in, but then we're not asked to then go make the pizza and deliver it, but you do have to put order the pizza. So
Right.
And that's the tricky part about, the metaphysical world, because there's the belief and consciousness of, when you're manifesting something, be super specific, like you want a car with the sunroof and this or that, and the more specific you are, then the universe could deliver it, which I've seen that to be true at times too. And then there's the other one of like, going into like how you want to feel, and then the universe provides that. So it's, this is where, so what is your truth in that moment? Because all truths are true. And what do you want to, buy into, or what do you want to believe in this moment?
And Jill Horn says that's very comforting. Thanks. I agree. I feel much better when you first came on the show and you were talking about all this intensity. I kind of got a little nervous, but now
Yeah.
you were really nervous. Yeah, you were on the edge of your chair.
I was like, what do you mean?
Oh no.
Scratch out the
We
board.
don't want that. No, no,
Right.
back it off.
All I want to know is, are the masks going to be our new normal? Because I don't know if I can handle that.
You're a choice. I choose to wear a mask when I go out. It's like, I don't want to,
Fine
if
for
I
now, but not forever. Like, like, because I can't breathe and I'm like I'm walking around like this.
Well, I like that black one. You look like you're, Islamic, so that works.
Yeah.
I wanna be-
I would challenge that you can't breathe. I think if you can't breathe in a mask, then maybe the mask isn't right. Like,
I'm gonna
and the
say,
people,
do you know how like I have a really hard time with turtlenecks? I'm like constantly doing this with them, stretching them out. So I decide turtlenecks are not for me, right?
have you
Um,
had healing on that?
I just don't like. I don't know. I just don't like it.
Because you were choked in a past life?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, with the hand over the mouth and and around your throat.
sure.
Yeah.
Do what you're told. Wow.
Yeah. So why do I want a mask on to be?
Why don't we just clear that so you don't
Yeah.
care whether you have a mask on or
Do
not?
you want that to be cleared? And then you're at choice. Because right now you don't want to wear a mask because it's uncomfortable, versus I'm just choosing not to wear a mask. This is where
But
choice and
I
fear.
keep hearing from Tyhson is the mask is the sign of slavery. I don't ever want to be put back into slavery again.
But you won't be.
It's up to you whether you're going to be a slave or not. Me
Yeah.
wearing a mask can be totally liberated, right?
I mean, how cute is that? Like, I'll wear it. I like polka dots, right? Like, fuck yeah. Let's have stylish fun, go out there, and like, how fun can you make it, right?
Okay. All right, Carla. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna let
But
that.
how are you doing with this? Like, have we
Yeah.
got that out of you yet? Have
Because
you?
we could help clear this.
Yeah.
So
Go
you're
ahead.
at choice. Okay, so just close your eyes and just feel the most intense that you felt. Like, think of a turtleneck and a mask on at the same time,
Oh, come on now.
I really go for it.
and just be with it.
I am there.
Okay. How old are you?
4.
Great. Can you sit beside that 4-year-old now? Where the adult you is next to
Yeah.
that 4-year-old. Yeah.
She's there.
Great. Let her know she is loved and that she has a voice. In this moment, she could declare what her truth is.
I'm a free and sovereign human being. That's right, sister. You and me both.
And she could say no.
Hmm?
She
Oh,
could
yeah.
say no.
You can say no.
And if she doesn't feel like she can, she could call on you to help her say no.
Girl, you know I can say no. Mm-hmm. We got it.
And let's go back a couple lives. And we're just going to ask Creator to clear all shock and trauma around any time where you were restricted by force or threats. There we go. All levels times.
I'm getting
Spaces,
hot.
dimensions down and up. Yep. Good. And we just call on Jesus Christ to lift this too. There we go.
Wow.
And your aunts, like I see your ancestors too. I actually see them. The masks that was on them are fading away. However, that was represented to them.
Mm-hmm.
Liberate all of them and you.
Yep. That's it.
I could feel it because my heart just went, wow.
Yeah, I'm getting really dizzy too. So it's still, energy's still going.
There now, yeah.
Yeah.
So what kept coming up is when I was little, I used to get this feeling of having clay in the mouth and like being suffocated.
Yeah.
And it would get really heavy. And I remember talking to my sister a few years ago and it happening again. And I haven't had it happen in a really long time, but I know that this is part of that too. Is whatever it was, if I was like buried alive or was in like a landslide or something where the mouth got full. Oh, that like whatever you just did, like that came off and then Jesus came down and like almost took that being out of me and gone.
Yeah.
Not almost did. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just want to say that anybody who's listening to this live or on the recording who also has this healing is for them as well.
Yeah,
if they choose it.
We're getting feedback that lots of people are yawning and releasing, and I did too. That whole thing about being told what to do and letting go of all that was huge for me. So I thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I was reminded of going to the Dow and coming to the Dow. They said, "Do you want to wear a mask?" I said, "I don't do those things," and I know everybody got upset with me. So well, then you have to wear one of those shields. So I said, okay, let's play this game, play the shield. But I was really, really resentful. But as I wore that shield and stood behind the plexiglass and did everything that I was supposed to do, it was interesting that as I let go of whether I was wearing the shield or not wearing the shield, by the end of the day, nobody was wearing a shield and nobody was wearing a mask. Like everybody had to go through what they thought they needed to do and do all the rules and everything and get through to let it all go and that it was okay just to be who they are. So I found that fascinating. So now next time I can just let go of all that.
Right. And I just, one thing that's coming up is, again, having empathy for yourself and others. Right. So this is where we get in really tricky waters, because we have our own sovereignty. We can make our own choices, but when our choices are affecting somebody else's, and so if you are a carrier and you're not wearing a mask, you don't know you're a carrier, and you infect somebody else, like then we get like, if there is something to be infected, but let's just say that there is, like now your sovereignty is literally bringing chaos into somebody else's life. Your beliefs. It's like, I'm gay, and if somebody doesn't believe like that I have rights, I can marry somebody or live somewhere, like your beliefs are affecting my life. Like this is where it's tricky when we talk about beliefs and we talk about having empathy for others. And I live my life like, I'm going to protect my body for sure, and I'm going to do whatever I can to protect somebody else's body, regardless of my belief or not.
What if we were to like do a clearing on what we just did with the thoughts and beliefs, kind of like what Tyson was saying around having to wear masks. Like at
Sure.
some point in
Let's clear it
time,
all.
I think it has
yeah.
maybe more to do about not masks or wearing masks. It has to do with being sovereign, no matter what we're being asked to do by society, conventions, rules, regulation, or whatever. If we can feel sovereign, then there's no resentment to doing what we're being asked to do, and
Exactly.
we're not surrendering or being controlled. We're sovereign no matter what, and we can't be judged for that, which is something pretty powerful too. Is right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's where like I mean, like I'm an Aquarius double Gemini. Like you don't like nobody tells me what to do. Like any relationship, like if they tell me what to do, I'm out. Right? Like that's just like who I am. But in terms of like when I look at the global thing, now if somebody asks me to do something for them, then I'm all in, right? Because I care about other people. Like again, that's just who I am, being not only an empath, but the Aquarius, like the humanitarian, like everything that I do, like I won't even print prints for people from a company if they're not a green company, because there's no way that I want to put more destruction into the world, right? So if we clear things like what we're doing right now, like our choice, like we're always at choice. Like nobody could literally tell us what to do, but where is it our ego getting in the way? Is it like what is preventing us from seeing a bigger picture and making choices that could benefit somebody else?
Yeah, I think
It's
it's basically fear. It's fear of being shut down, of being held back, of being suffocated, like Laura was.
or lied to. Like I'm hearing lied to. So if I wear a mask, then I'm buying into
A lie.
whatever it is versus
Oh, that's huge for me to be lied to. I do not like being lied to.
right. So if you think, and the mailman's coming, so Luna might say hi.
That's fine.
So I think the mask actually represents, if I wear that, then I'm buying into this lie that we're being told versus it's just a mask.
Yeah, why are we going to give them that much credit for shutting us down by
So
having
let's clear that. Like let's clear the mask or the shield or anything. Let's clear
Okay.
the energy that it's attached to any of that.
Can I just say some of the
Yeah.
stuff that people are writing?
Oh yeah.
Michelle Montgomery said, felt more heaviness in my chest, always having difficult breathing, tight throat. Um, Jerry says, 2 days ago, I was verbally attacked and emotionally attacked at the gym. I'm writing articles on Facebook. Number 5 talks about herd immunity. If you want to read it, good info about the virus, isolation and masks. That's Debbie Etzel. That sounds good. Having pressure on the back of my neck since last night. Huge blood pressure. That's Lewis. Michelle Montgomery doesn't care for liars as well.
Who does?
who does?
I
But
love being lied to. No.
well, but again, you're giving the other person energy. Like I don't like to be lied to. So like a person could say or do whatever they want,
Mhm,
Like,
right?
right.
mhm.
I
But
think
I
the
won't
Dalai
be
Lama
right.
never worries about that sort of thing. I mean, if we want to play with ideas, like the Dalai Lama doesn't care whether he's lied to or isn't lied to. It makes no difference to him.
And why? Like let's play, because this is the only truth.
Yeah, exactly.
So if somebody's going to lie, all that does is gives you information. Now you're at choice. Do you want to be around that person or not?
Life's a
Now you have
choice.
yeah,
Discernment.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does it trigger inside of me that I want to have a reaction when I'm lied to? Because if I can get over that, I'm not going to be lied to anymore. Or if I am, it doesn't matter.
I am still doing a clearing, and I just like this whole thing, like where everything that's coming up is being cleared.
Okay.
The other thing about the virus too, what has been coming through since day one for me is there's so much that we don't know. So when people say even herd, immunity and all these things, that is true for certain things. Yes. Is it true for this? We don't know. Like we've never seen anything like this before. And anytime like new information is constantly being put forth, what I really, of course, we want to improve our immune system, right? That's with anything. Like, of course, eat healthy, exercise, meditate, build up your frequency as high as possible, and allow whatever the COVID-19 to be, and let the new information come. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's like, I don't know. I just get like, there's anytime somebody says it's this, like I hear and more
Yeah.
and more.
Okay.
At the
Well,
beginning.
Lewis, oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I was just saying at the beginning, I was just saying all this information is overwhelming if I want to try and make truth out of it. If it's just
Exactly.
information and let it go, then it's all relevant, right? It's all
Exactly.
other people's reality. And if I could support everybody with their reality, they can free themselves and become sovereign, and the truth will come through to them. So I'm really in people's way when I make those sorts of judgments. I'm not only my way, though, I'm in their way. I'm not then letting them be who they be. So,
And I just want to say again, keep hearing empathy. So if somebody like is verbally and attacking you, that does not feel good. So like, that is horrible that happened. And why do they feel that they have to do that? They feel threatened in
Mm,
some way. So like, what can we do to help them? Whether like they leave, like if they don't like it, they could leave or we leave. But like, how can we be in curiosity and empathy and really be on the same team? Like, can we be in the same boat, rowing for the same thing? And what can we do to diffuse the
mhm,
energy within humanity where we can be with each other? And then discernment. If this person wants me to wear a mask, then I'm not going to be around that person. If you're the person who doesn't want to wear a mask, right? Like, now we get to have choices, but we don't get, well,
mhm,
it's not optimal to make somebody right or wrong. It's like discernment. Like, now
mhm.
you're at choice.
So Randy says, so I choose not to wear a mask as a sovereign being, and yet I feel the judgment from others for not wearing one for their sake. Conundrum. Then
Yeah.
Luke says, having pressure on the back of my neck since last night, high blood pressure. And Jill Horn says, I'm clear of the family. Am I clear of family karma? Um,
No. Sorry.
well,
that's
I
why,
mean,
that's why you've incarnated.
Right.
we
Yeah.
can do the deep cleaning protocol, and certainly, um,
So it depends. It depends on which karma, right? Like, I can't tell just from this, like,
right.
which karma. Like, we're still alive, we're still in relationship, we all still have karma that we're working through.
Right. It's much bigger than just talk show.
I
Yeah.
think this is interesting what Brandy is saying about, wearing a mask and being sovereign as a statement. I think I really appreciate, Carla, what you're giving me a new perspective that I can wear a mask, be a sovereign human being, and
Hmm.
I don't need to make a statement. That it's, I don't want to say it's a game, but it is a game. It's a social game that I play in order to make other people feel comfortable. Does it restrict who I be and my sovereignty? No. If I can get to that point, which I have because of the way you explained it to me, then I'm free to wear or not wear a mask. I'm not trying to make a political statement. I'm not judging you for for wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. I mean, it's all complicated. I can just let it all go, right? It's
Hmm.
not relevant anymore.
Hmm. I never felt mad or angry about it. I was more like, this is how I felt when I was younger, and I was made to do things that I like learn, like what year so and so did something in history. I was like, well, this is just stupid, but I guess I got to do it anyway, right?
Right.
That's how I feel about this. Like,
I,
it's
I
just,
I know we're wrapping up. Sorry to cut you off, but because I was doing a healing and clearing, I need to
Yeah.
close this for everybody. So I just want to give thanks to Creator for all the healing that happened on this call and beyond. It is done. It is done. It is done. Thank you. Amen. Aho. Ashe. Okay. Sorry, Laura. I just wanted to close that.
oh, that's good. Thank you. I'm letting this clear out too. And then Sarah says, coming from a place of kindness is also helpful.
Yes, and well, thank you ever so much, Carla, for showing up yet again. Obviously, I'm still clearing like that. I can't even talk. We are at the top of the hour. I thank you ever so much. And same time, same place, next Friday. We'll We'll continue the discussion and release ourselves from being the masked banditos, right? We come in love and peace and understanding, and see you all on tomorrow, not tomorrow, but on Monday. We start the whole cycle all over again. So thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for the healing. Bless you.
Welcome.
And Tyson.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Lots of love.
Bye.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.